Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you in detail the steps that I take, the tips and tricks that I make use of when I apply makeup on my brides. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and if you have any questions for me, please drop in the comment section below. First off, I'm going to start off with priming our skin, and I'm going to be using the Juba Cosmetics primer. If you are an ardent follower of this page, I'm sure you guys already know that this is the primer I make use of, and I'm sure you all know why. I'm going to make sure I massage the primer properly into the skin, and I'm going to make sure that I apply a little bit of it directly under our eyelids to soften the area so that it doesn't crease when I apply my makeup. Next, I'm going to apply foundation. I like to do skin first, and this foundation I have already mixed with a liquid illuminator so as to give the skin like a luminescence glow. And now I'm blending out the foundation with a brush. I'm going to switch very soon to a blending sponge, but I first of all like to spread out my foundation using a brush. Next, I'm going to blend out the foundation like I stated earlier with a blending sponge, and this sponge is by the Juba Beauty. So I'm going to use the sponge to blend out the foundation evenly all over my bride's skin. I can also use the brush, but I find that when I use both the brush and the blending sponge, there are no brush streaks or lines on my bride or my client's face. I'm going to make sure that I cover the face very well. For bridal looks, I usually go for full coverage. Then I'm going to make sure that I blend my foundation from the jawline towards our neck area as well. You don't want any disparities between the neck area or the chest area and the bride's face. Next, I'm going to highlight our face, and I'm going to be using the Aucion concealer in the shade SX11. I like this concealer a lot, and I find that what you need is very little, just a pinch here and there, and it's spread out to all the areas that you need it to spread out to. So I'm just going to apply my concealer at choice areas under our eyelids, our nose, our forehead, and our chin. Remember that when you're working with this concealer, what you need is very little. If you put too much, you're going to struggle with blending it out. So now I'm blending again, and I'm using the same sponge that I used for the foundation. I like to blend out my edges first so that I don't transfer more products than what I need to areas where I don't need it. This Aucion concealer gives a very full coverage look, so I usually make use of it for my brides. It covers well, it blends fantastically well as well for a cream product. I'm really obsessed with this concealer. So now I'm just making sure that my under eye is properly blended before I set, and making sure that there are no creases under the eye. Next, I'm going to set, I'm going to contour our face, and I'm going to be using Black Opal foundation. I'm not sure what shade this because I have long since deported all my cream foundations into a palette, so it's difficult for me to tell which shade I'm using exactly, but I know that this is one of my Black Opal stick foundation that I'm using to contour. For my contour, for some reason I like to blend out with a brush. I struggle when I have to blend my contour areas with a sponge, so I'm more comfortable with using a brush, and I like to use this brush from my Color du Jour brush set. When I'm blending out my contour, especially the forehead area, I like to blend into the hairline so that it can hide all the streaks and blend properly. Then for the nose area, I like to blend my contour right into our brow line so that there could be some form of continuity with, I don't know if that makes sense, but I just like to do that. One more time, I'm making sure that there are no creases under the eye before I set, and then I'm using the blending sponge again to blend out all the ash lines between the contoured areas and the highlighted areas. Next, I'm going to set the highlighted areas, and I'm using the Mercier setting powder. Then I'm going to blend out and set other areas using MAC powder in the shade NC42, and I'm using this large dome brush from Sit Pretty Cosmetics. I love this brush so much. It's densely packed and it's large, so it reaches all the areas that I need it to reach. So I'm just basically blending everywhere with this brush and the powder, even the areas that I had contoured. Next, I'm going to set the entire face using the Juba Cosmetics setting spray. This would help prolong the lifespan of my makeup. It will help it last longer, since it's a bridal makeup and she is probably going to be wearing it for more than 8 hours. This technique will help keep my makeup in place so that when she sweats or when she breaks out in oil, makeup will remain intact without washing off. Next, I'm going to put a little bit of the Mercier setting powder under her eye so that it can not technically bake, but just to serve as a barrier between the work I have done on her skin and the work I'm about to do. So this would help, catch eyeshadow fallouts or pigment fallouts when I'm working. Now I'm filling out the brows. I'm using the brow pencil from Cosmetics. I've already uploaded a video of how I do my brows, so I'm not going to dwell too much on the brow parts for this video. If you want to see how I do my brows, just subscribe and find the video on one of my pages. I probably would drop the link here. So next I'm about to get ready for my eyes, and I'm using the P. Louise eyeshadow base as my eyeshadow base. So I'm just blending the eyeshadow base on our lid. I've seen a lot of videos where people use this eyeshadow base in more quantity than I've done, but this is how I like to do mine. Next, I'm applying this eyeshadow color from the Masquerade palette, Juba's palette, on our crease. It's a soft brown shade, and I'm going to apply all over on our crease as my transition color. Next, I'm going to make sure that the transition color is properly blended out. I'm going to take that soft brown shade again and blend it out completely over the crease. Next, I'm going into another Juvia's Place palette, and this is the Magic palette. I'm taking this soft lilac shade and applying all over our lid. I'm just going to blend that color right into our crease so that there are no harsh lines before I go and apply more of that same lilac color on our lid. Next, I'm taking that silver color and I'm going to apply on the inner corner of our eyelid, just to make sure that it opens up our eye a little bit. I'm going to apply that silver color and blend it right into the purple or lilac color I applied earlier. So next, I'm taking that brown shade and I'm making the outer corner of her eye more deep or darker. I'm just darkening that outer corner with that brown shade. The trick to getting a flawless eyeshadow look is to make sure that everything blends correctly into one. So as you apply, make sure that you blend all colors properly, especially into the crease area. Next, I'm just going to give the eye a little bit of pop, and I'm going to add that pigment, the light blue pigment from the Sit Pretty pigment collection. I'm going to add that light blue color on the center, in between the purple and the silver. I just applied the e.l.f. glitter glue using my fingers, and now I'm applying the light blue shade in between the silver and the lilac I had applied earlier. I like to use my fingers to apply pigment. Sometimes I use smaller brushes, but if you want it to blend properly, I would advise that you use your finger. Next, I'm going to apply that silver pigment onto the inner corner of the eye. First, I apply the glitter primer in very little quantity. Make sure that it's a bit tacky before you apply your pigment. If you apply your pigment on a wet base before it gets tacky, if it's too wet, the eyeshadow will crease after a while. So the best way to avoid that is to make sure that your glitter primer dries down a little bit, almost to a sticky level, before you apply your pigment. Next, I'm going to make sure everything blends into one, including the pigments and the eyeshadow. I'm going to blend everything right into the crease color I had applied earlier. So I'm done with eyeshadow application. Next, I'm going to line our eyes, and I'm using this gel liner from Inglot. It's probably one of the blackest gel liners available in the market. For the eyeliner application, I'm using a disposable applicator. For some reason I couldn't find the brushes I use on a normal day, so I decided to use a disposable applicator. It's good to have these things, they come in handy for when you need them. Next, I'm going to apply the same gel liner onto our lower lid or our waterline. I'm just going to apply in a straight line. I won't smudge it out, I just want a very clean straight line. Next, I'm going to dust off my eyeshadow fallouts, pigment fallout from our lashes, so that when I apply false lashes, there won't be like a difference between our natural lashes and the false lashes. Using a shadow shield as a protector against our skin, I'm going to brush our lower lashes with a mascara as well. Next, I'm going to sweep off the powder that I used as a baking powder or a protector, a barrier against our skin, and I'm going to sweep it off using the same MAC powder I used earlier. Now I'm applying a little bit of contour on our face, on the areas that I earlier contoured with the Black Opal foundation. Nothing too much, just slight powder contour here and there. Next, I'm going to apply a little bit of glow spray, and I'm using this glow spray from the Sopo Cosmetics collection. Using the same large dome brush, I'm going to pat on the glow spray onto our skin. I do this because glow sprays tend to clog up. I'm not sure clog up is the right word. The glow particles tend to clog up in one place, as you can see on our face, so I use the brush to evenly spread it out and push it into the skin. Next I'm going to apply a little bit of glow, and I'm using my Juba Beauty The Glow palette. Just very little at first to create that glass glow effect. I'm applying it on strategic areas of our face, our forehead, cheekbone, and our nose. Using a smaller brush this time around, I'm going to intensify the glow in strategic areas. Again, I don't know why I'm saying strategic. I'm going to intensify the glow by putting it in those areas in small quantity. That's why I'm using a smaller brush. So I applied our false lashes off camera, and right now I'm just applying a little bit of liquid liner to make sure that my lash line or lash tract is well hidden, and to intensify my eyeliner. Next I'm going to open up our eye a little bit by using the silver eyeshadow I used earlier, just to open up our eye. I'm applying it just a tiny bit on our tear duct. So for this video, I had to bring in a gele expert to come and tie the gele. Her name is I am Ajoke Gele. You can find her on Instagram. She ties gele very well, even better than I do. So we tied the gele off camera. If you want to see how this was tied, you can check out my other videos on how to tie gele, both the round one and the V-shaped gele. So right now I'm just making sure that our face is still intact. There are no finger streaks or sweat anywhere. Now I'm going to get ready to do our lip. First I'm going to line our lip, and I'm using the MAC lip pencil in the shade Chestnut. Next I'm going to blend out the pencil that I just applied. I'm going to make sure that it's well blended on our lip before I start to apply the lip stain I'm going to apply. Next I'm going to apply this light orange lip stain from Blot Beauty Cosmetics in the shade Bougie. I'm going to apply that lip stain all over our lip, including areas where I had just lined with the MAC lip pencil. To create a slight ombre effect, I'm going to be applying another lip stain from Blot Beauty Cosmetics, this time in the shade Stripped. So I'm just going to apply that color on just the center of our lip and then blend out to other areas. So that's it, guys. We've come to the end of this tutorial. I hope you guys have been able to pick one or two new tips and tricks. I promise to always bring more tips here as I learn them as well. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. If you're new here, please share and subscribe as well. Until next time when I come your way, thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to your questions and comments in the comment section below. I think I've said that before. Okay, bye bye.